Hi, Mairead Russell here from MCR Hypnotherapy in Manchester. And what I'm going to do today is just share a simple technique that can help you to let go of any negative thought patterns you have or to release any negative habits. Now, believe it or not, any thought patterns or negative feelings that we have or habits we have originate from a particular trigger. Now that trigger could be something we see, it could be something we think, or something we feel. So as a smoker, perhaps the trigger for you to have a cigarette may be that you see somebody smoking. It may be that you are sitting down with a cup of coffee and you have the thought, I need a cigarette. But there's something that triggers a particular behaviour. So it's about working out what the trigger is, or those thoughts are, and then stopping those thoughts and changing them to something positive. So I'll give you an example. Say you're somebody that wants to stop chocolate cravings. Now, what tends to happen is you might be feeling a certain way, perhaps you're feeling a bit sad, perhaps you're feeling a bit bored, you might have an image of a chocolate bar in your mind, and then you have that thought, quite fancy a little bit of chocolate. Now, as soon as you notice that thought, what happens is you may notice you have an automatic thought process after that. So you're more or less talking yourself into having that chocolate bar, and how much better you're going to feel once you eat that chocolate bar. So you're talking yourself in, and these thought processes are automatic. Sometimes you actually know you're aware of them until you actually sit down and you have that bar of chocolate in your hand. So it's very important to start focusing on the thoughts you have around those cravings initially. And there will be a trigger. It may be a thought, I'd fancy some chocolate, or it may be seeing some chocolate, or it may be seeing some chocolate in your mind, but there is something that triggers that. Once you're aware of that trigger, then what we do is quite literally say, stop, clap your hands, anything to stop that thought process. Once you've done that, then what we do is bring in a positive thought process that can help you to avoid eating chocolate and reach and maintain your ideal weight and shape. So it could be something like, I choose to be slim and healthy. Something that's positive, okay? And it has to be positive, not I don't want to eat chocolate or I don't want to be fat. It has to be positive, so stated in the positive, I want to be slim and healthy now, okay? So the process itself works with just basically sitting down to begin with. Think about the situation or the trigger that starts that behaviour. So as I've said before, for eating chocolate, it could be you might see somebody eating a bar of chocolate, you might see it in your mind, or you might just feel bored or upset and have the thought, I want some chocolate. As soon as you notice that thought, as soon as you see that image in your head, you stop and bring in the new positive thought, I choose to be slim and healthy. Now what this does is weaken that old thought pattern, I want some chocolate, which results in ultimately you sitting down and eating the chocolate. Sometimes we don't even notice we're doing it until we're literally sitting there eating it. So it weakens that thought process, and then it starts to create a new, more stronger thought process of, oh, I fancy some chocolate, and immediately the next thing you think about is being slim and healthy. So over time, that old neural pathway to I fancy some chocolate, I'll have that chocolate, now becomes, oh, I quite fancy chocolate. You know what? No, I don't, because I choose to be slim and healthy. Now this pattern interrupt or stop pattern you can use this with any habit, any negative thought process. But the main thing is to become aware of your thoughts and the actual triggers for those behaviours. So as you can see, it's a simple process, really, really effective. It's one that I use with my clients in my business, and it's one that I personally use as well. So anytime you notice a negative thought, quite simply, stop that thought. Yes, it might not be appropriate for you to go stop if you're out and about. Just say the word stop in your head, or cancel. As soon as you say that word stop, as soon as you say the word cancel, then bring in the positive statement. I choose to be slim and healthy. I choose to stop smoking. I choose to be healthy. Or if it's perhaps you have a negative thought process where you're probably unkind to yourself, then stop that process. I love and accept myself. So notice the thought, say stop or cancel in your mind, and introduce a new, more positive thought process. And what you'll notice is perhaps over a couple of weeks or so, you'll begin to notice a change, and you'll notice that your habits, those behaviours and those thought process automatically change and become more positive. So give it a go. A really, really simple technique to use and incredibly effective at stopping those bad habits, at stopping those negative thoughts. But remember, you need to become aware of those thought processes first before you introduce this stop pattern. So give it a go. Hope it all works out for you. Take care and speak soon.